gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Recap and Record podcast. My name's Levi, as joined always by my friend Los. He's here. It's episode 3, week 3 of House of the Dragon. We've redeemed ourselves from last week because we just said it behind the scenes. A great week 3 episode, yeah?
Yes, definitely a great week 3 episode. And this week we're gonna do some different things to where I think we're just gonna produce some better clips. Yeah. Opus, man, y'all be playing, man. Y'all be playing, yeah, but we're gonna manipulate it a little bit, and we're gonna, we're gonna have some.
I will say I tweaked my settings this week for the WAD pod to do like the 1 to 3 minute ratio because it does the same thing for me. Like it's like we're building up, and then the clip ends right as I get to the point of the joke or whatever we're talking about.
Yeah.
And so I think the 1 to 3 minutes we're working on that. And I think, dude, just to start off, and we saw it in the flashback this week, and I'm so mad because I wrote it down last week, but we didn't talk about it. This zinger of a line that we missed, I think it was in episode 2, or maybe episode 1, when they were all at the round table, and Alicent asked one of the maesters or the other guy sitting there, like, I sent a raven to Rhaenyra. Was there any word back? And he goes, for the apology note for killing her son? No, there's been no response, my lady.
Yeah.
Like, I heard it, I wrote it down, and I knew I should have brought it up sooner, but I'm glad we kind of got a 360 full circle on that in this episode. Just a kind of hilarious moment, like, she apologized for her son killing her son, like, ew.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was definitely the women were very prominent in this episode, and showing us that there's a different way to rule.
Yeah.
And it may or may not bode well, but it's one of those things where it's like it might be too little too late.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So that's what I noticed about this. And also what we're gonna probably open up with, it's just these battles, man, like and how like the initial beef in the very beginning episode is a microcosm for what we're dealing with, because we are getting to a point where everybody's about to forget why the hell we started fighting in the first place.
And we'll get there in a minute. Yep. Yeah. No,
you know what I mean?
exactly. Yep.
And it was telling, man, like, when they had that conversation, again, we'll get into that.
Yeah.
But it was like, wow, now, and seeing the preview, it's like, now Rhaenyra knows, like, okay, there is no going back. Like, she was trying to go back.
Yep.
She was trying to go backwards, just trying to see.
And that was the theme of this episode, was her doing everything in her power to not go to war. Even though that Team Green seems to be pressing on, she just was really trying to avoid it.
Yeah.
And so
one more thing before we get started.
Yeah.
So remember last week we did mention Alan of Hall. And they showed him. I thought we were going to see him in the episode because they showed him in the preview, and then it jogged my memory, like, oh, okay, he's the one that saved Corlys.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm thinking that they are really using him as a different kind of character, because again, Alan is supposed to be a Valerian, and unless he is his son from another marriage, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're not really, it doesn't seem like they're recognizing that.
Okay.
Like, so that might be, so if we see him again and we continue to see him, he might not be who he really is in the origin, like in the lore, in the story.
I might have a note to that here in a little bit. So we'll circle back around on that here in due time.
Okay.
So I mean, to start out the episode, we start out with the Brackens and the Blackwoods.
Yes. So the Brackens remember when little man was trying to be like Rhaenyra's husband? Remember he like put himself out there, the little guy?
Yeah.
Wasn't he a Bracken?
He
was a Bracken, I think.
We'll have to go back and look. I was gonna ask you, but I'm not. You
know what I'm talking about. Remember when he ended up killing that bigger dude. I think the little man was a Bracken.
I think you're right. I'm 99% on it. I'll look it up. We'll put it in post, but I'm pretty sure you're right.
Okay. But we get the Brackens versus Blackwoods.
Yeah, and so they're arguing over the land. They think they moved the border rocks, right, to get the cows, maybe a little more grass, something silly, just boys are fighting. which I guess then just inevitably led to everybody dead. They pretty much would, and this was the title of the episode, the burning of the windmill, I believe.
Yeah, something like the mill, the old mill or something like that. Yeah,
yeah, and so it kind of, that's how we're starting this episode. This is the beginning, essentially, of what we can assume will be the war, right? I mean, it's everyone's tense, everyone's on either the side of the queen or the king, and it's pretty definitive who is who. I again wasn't expecting that opening. I loved it. I did love it. I mean, just the slow pan of the bodies and the fire and everything. Just
and just to note, both of those men that were fighting, they both are dead. You know what I mean? Because they mentioned the other guy being dead, Blackwood being dead, Samuel Blackwood. When they were in court, they were just like, oh yeah, and that's when Aegon was like, oh yeah, we got a victory, and then Tywin Lannister was like, oh, let's not call that a victory, bro. We need all them bodies, because apparently if those two fight under the same banner, they have like 20,000 men. Like that's the word on the streets. Like, so like they need all them soldiers, and like if these guys just had like a little civil war and like really reduce the troops, that doesn't bode well for either side.
Yeah, no, right, exactly. And now half of them are dead, so it's not good news all around.
Yeah.
So moving right along, we cut to the funeral of the Erics, of course.
Yeah.
Ray explaining to her son that it had to happen. He had an oath. Obviously we all kind of understood that there. And so just another golden moment from Mother T, coming in with the advice,
the wisdom,
the knowledge, the wisdom, like just basically telling Rhaenyra the voice of the audience. Like, she's listening to the podcast every week, and she's going back to Rhaenyra and saying, look, this is what they're saying.
This is what they're saying.
You're doing this to yourself. Where did the war begin? Was it this? Was it the poking fun at the boy before he had a dragon with the pig? Was it the eye? Was it the death?
Yes.
Was it the baby? Was it the like? Where are you? And then
and really holding Rhaenyra accountable in the sense, because she was like. She was like, she murdered my son. She was like, oh, she murdered your son just as much as you chopped that baby's head off. And she was like, oh shit.
Allison permitted the actions of the killings, and she said the same way you did.
Yeah, the same way you did.
And she's so like, I wrote this quote down from her: when the desire to kill and burn takes over, all reason is forgotten. And so it just pounding that into her, and really seeing her kind of just mature even quickly in this moment, not to send the dragons, not to call it what, like, let's look at all the options, and even maybe take some risk quick here to figure out what's going on before we like start burning shit to the ground. And
now, what was your reaction though when that conversation? Did you agree with Rhaenys? Do you feel like did you feel like there was a smidge of hope, like her talking to Allison?
Well, so when Rhaenys was just giving that advice, and she was like, the same way you fucking manufactured the death. I know it wasn't your order, but like, whatever, it's fine. You kind of co-signed it with Daemon. Like, that was, I paused it. I shouted out loud. I said, get her, bitch. Like, you gotta, the fact that this woman is not afraid. She is not afraid to talk to the queen that way. She is not afraid to talk to Daemon that way. She is not afraid to talk to Corlys that way. We see it in this episode. She loses a little bit of power, but like, she knows where she stands. She is the daughter of the son of the king, of the cousin of the whoever, and she knows that she has not a lot of power, but when it comes to that attitude and how to actually maybe, I don't know, run the fucking kingdom, she's getting it. She's killing it, and she needs to speak up, which she obviously does. And I love it. I love her. That's why we call her Mother T. She's the one to make it happen.
I agreed with her, but I just, at the same time, I was like, it's the stakes are too high now. Like, the stakes are too high. You got too many people. Again, you got too many important people that died. You know what I'm saying? Just even by namesake, even if they weren't, even if Luke wasn't about to be
Right.
nobody, or
Right.
Lil Jaehaerys, even if he wouldn't have grown up to be
Yeah.
the next king, it's still like all that means too much. Now you got the twin knights. They're dead. I mean, these might be like each side's like some of their strongest soldiers.
Right.
It's too many kind of pieces off the chessboard for us to stop now. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I did agree. She made a lot of sense, but we're past the point of reason. We
Yep.
are past the
Yep.
point of common sense and compromise.
Yep. Yep.
And I mean, don't start no shit, won't be no shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And of
And
course,
we already
even,
started it, so
and even with you and even just bringing up the death of the twins and that whole plan, we cut to what is just another hour and a half where Mr. Cole survives and he is still alive. And so
kill this man already.
I thought she was this
yeah.
close. We'll get to it, but like, God damn it. Get it? So, and he's what? Getting the cold shoulder now from all of his buddies because it's like, hey, bro, like you slept your way to the top, not cool. Like, you sent Eric to his death? Like, what's this game Cole's playing? But like, homie still's got the necklace, right? He's not wearing the thing. Interesting. He's still wearing so he's still the Knights. Does he still hold both positions now? Like, is that why he's still wearing his thing? And they call him, I think they referred to him as Lord Commander a few times.
They still are, still are calling them Lord Commander, which I think that there is a little bit of a conflict there.
Okay.
I'm not too sure because it made it seem like somebody else is like at the very least like guarding the Queen Dowager, you know what I'm saying? Like guarding Alicent.
Yeah.
That's an inside the episode, that's what they were talking about. But like, yes, it is a weird conflict. He is the worst person for that job though. Like, I mean, because and that's the
now
thing.
he's riding off to battle. Like, how can you be
because
the
you can't and that's the thing with Aegon he wants somebody that's strong and fierce to kind of co-sign his irrational thoughts. But you do need a politician in that role. I mean, that's why, Tyrion Lannister, probably the greatest hand of the king ever. You know what I mean? Greatest hand ever. You know what I mean? And that's why it didn't even fit Ned Stark. Ned Stark is not a politician. He's a warrior. He's a fighter. And, he don't know how to play the politics. That's why he ended up getting out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Tywin is probably the only one. Tywin is that mix of like, he could play politician, but he's the actual war general. Like he can, you know what I mean? He was another good hand of the king, but and I think Otto is too, in terms of the wisdom and in terms of what needs to be done. That's why he was the hand for 3 kings. You know what I'm saying? He does know what he's doing, whether we like him or not. He knows what
And so at the round table, I love this now. I love this love-hate back and forth now between Alicent and Cole. And it's just like this aggression that she still has towards him, but man, that D's fire, you know what I mean? And so it's like, it was a shit plan, Cole. Okay.
Yeah.
But obviously he's got it. He's like, look, he's like, well, maybe Eric wasn't up to task, but I am. So here's what I'm suggesting. I ride out. I take over. I fucking take the Night's Watch, and we start this thing off proper. And we're for it. And it's Aegon wants nothing to do than to prove that he is this powerful leader in any way he can, but I feel like keeps failing and just indefinitely. And so he says, and I quote, I'm the as fearsome as they come. Okay. Well, maybe no. And then it just cut to everyone and they're like laughing, choking on their wine. And it's like, we're not taking you seriously. And the only one that had sense in the room, honestly, was Aemond. He was like, listen, we're not going to take the dragons. You're not going anywhere. You're the king. Calm down. You're not flying out to start the war.
Yes. But remember later on in the episode, he's still planning on going. Like he actually did not take the advice of his brother. And it's funny because Aemon is in an interesting position. Like he has to present that he is loyal to his brother and like suggest like, hey, don't go to war. But if Aegon dies, it goes to Aemon next. Aemon would be the king, because he doesn't have any other sons. He doesn't have any like male heirs. So like it would technically go to Aemon as the
Yeah.
king, but Aemon has to play like, yeah, brother, like
Right,
don't
right,
go,
right,
don't
right,
go, man.
right. But do you think then why? So is it apparent then to assume that Aemon might not want the throne? Like he's mentally not ready with all of his other issues that we'll get to. So like, is that
Well,
like,
I think yeah, it might be some of that, but I think in front of everybody,
yeah,
you cannot suggest for because
yeah,
everybody in the room was like, "What the fuck are you talking about? You can't fight no more."
yeah, it
Not
could,
that you were ever a fighter,
yeah,
but like you can't fight. So I think in front of everybody, you can't have people thinking that like, oh, he has a secret agenda to
yeah,
try to get
yeah,
the throne. So in the public light, you gotta show support of your brother,
huh,
and he's a soldier, like he knows what he's doing. He's doing what he's
right,
supposed to be doing.
true,
And but yeah, it see that whole thing with Alice and Kristen, though, going back to that,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
it just shows you, man, how like how sex complicates things, especially when you ain't supposed to be having sex with somebody. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like when you dealing with somebody and you have a sexual relationship with somebody that you're not supposed to have a sexual relationship with
Yeah,
them,
yeah,
everything that you do,
yeah,
it goes under a microscope, because we're gonna cut into meeting her brother later or whatever.
right,
But like everybody is now paying. It's like whether they know or not,
right.
it's the fact that it happened,
Right. It's in
because
the
when you
air. It's the rumors. It's the you can sense it. You can
yeah, it's
smell it on their breath. It's not this like it's not this. They're not good actors in the sense
yes,
of like
yes, yeah,
yeah,
because
like
if it was a strictly professional relationship,
yeah,
nobody would bat an eye
right.
at them talking to each other.
Yeah,
But like
yeah, yeah,
yeah, she can't act, he can't act, like, you
yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Because he always acts like a scorned lover, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Fucking bitch ass nigga. Like, I hate this guy. I hate this motherfucker.
Dude, I
Like,
love it. I'm gonna share that clip of him getting his ass beat I think every other day now. I think just
oh
as a
wait,
reminder.
break
Just
bones,
yeah,
my man break bones, hard and
yeah,
strong,
yeah,
fucking him up.
yeah, 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 yeah. Dude, so of course, so we get some answers from last week. Of course, White Worm sent sounded the alarm when she noted because in the flashback, I saw this. I didn't notice last week. Rhaenyra sent Sir Eric to escort White Worm to the boats, and so
Yes.
he must have left her up at the castle. He was like, "Okay, you got it from here. Just follow the dirt path." And then
Yeah.
boom, she saw a Sir Eric walk right past her again. So
Yep.
then that obviously she sounds the alarms. And in a golden, I mean, this is why we call it the Game of Thrones. And what a golden chess move of an opportunity would be to just ask for a sack of gold coins. I knew it the moment we started ranting, I think in episode 1 with her and Rhaenyra, and White Worm's realization of all the men doing her dirty in her life. This is going to become a girl power relationship. And like
Yes.
asking for a
Yes.
seat on her court, being as close to the queen, to her hand as possible. Like, boom, checkmate, bitches. Now it's White Worm season. She knows the inner workings of the Red Keep. She gets her in with Alicent. She's
Yep.
already proving her worth tenfold. She's already saved Rhaenyra's life. She
Yep.
now has what what are we calling it? The most power over the king and queen. I mean,
Yeah.
does she
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
more? Is she better?
She's
Okay,
like
is she better than Lars Strong? Is she more powerful than Lars Strong to the king?
yeah, she is. She's more like what's his name? What was the Game of Thrones bald dude?
Oh, yeah,
The
yeah.
eunuch.
Yeah, 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 yeah. The monk guy, a little bit.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So
yeah,
she's
yeah.
like, yeah, and because even though he's just a person,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
he was powerful as hell. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So yeah, I
Yep.
think she's getting into that realm for
Dude,
sure.
it was, yeah, I mean, yeah, the seat on the court and does she grant that? Do we get a finalization? I think I might have missed it or didn't realize. So I'm assuming that's happening, right? Or
Yeah,
it's
I assume that's happening.
in the workings.
I can't wait to see Damon's
Damon, right,
face
right.
when
Damon,
he gets back and he's like, Oh, they got both of my bitches here.
Yeah,
What the hell?
it's we're coming right up on his dumbass here in a minute. So Rhaenyra's final kind of thing in that scene is sending Rhaena on a mission. Right, we've got Bella
Yes,
out flying with her dragon, scouting, and Rhaena unfortunately doesn't have a dragon yet. And so this is just kind of her mission to kind of prove herself and
yes,
inevitably get one.
yeah,
And
yeah.
so she's a little pissy. She's like, I don't
She's a
gotta.
little pissy, but
Uh,
she don't realize how important that role is though,
right,
because
right,
like you have to protect these kids
yep,
because all if they get us all out of here, we
yep,
still need somebody to
yep,
rise up and
yep, yep,
and if you do what you supposed to do
yeah,
right,
yep,
we might got some strong soldiers and we got dragons
yep,
in the tuck. You know what I
yep,
mean? Just
yep.
waiting. But yeah, she's not really feeling it. Because yeah, her husband got killed too. Remember, Luke is her husband. You know what I'm saying? Lucerys was her
Ah,
husband.
shit. Right. That's
Yeah,
right.
so
So her husband's dead. And now my stepmom sending you to the place your mother died. Like,
yep.
ew, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
So
listen, we'll get to the back half of that whole mission here in a minute, but we cut to this scene that we were hyping up last week. We didn't even have Damon in much of the scenes, and it just kind of we were gearing up for his taking of Harren Hall, and I
yes.
completely forgot it's destroyed. And so
Well, it's been destroyed.
yeah,
It's been destroyed
yeah,
for centuries
right,
because
right,
Aegon the Conqueror, and
right,
that was like, and when you read the lore, they say
yep,
that's actually that was the hardest like castle to
yep,
overcome.
yep,
But yeah, it's hasn't been renovated in centuries.
yep,
You know what I'm saying? Like they just kind of like, but yes, it is. It's the biggest castle. It's haunted because
uh-huh,
even in Game of Thrones they talk
uh-huh.
about that too. Like there, and I
The
assume that
curse.
yeah, the curse
Yep.
had to do with the Strongs, but like the curse is based on some shit before that, like the Heron the Black
Yep.
getting killed and all that type of stuff.
Well, yep,
So
yep, and more on that to come in a minute. So our first fact of the episode, Heron the Black originally spent 40 years and worked thousands of slaves to death to build Heron
oh
Hall, and the
yeah.
day it was done, Aegon Targaryen showed up in Westeros.
Oh,
And so,
okay,
and
yeah,
so
I can
it
see the
just,
curse.
you know what I
I can
mean?
see that. Like
Right.
it's like an old slave plantation, like
Yeah.
and having ghosts and stuff like that. Yeah,
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 yeah. Ghosts, maybe a witch that we'll get to here in a minute, but just
yeah.
it. So I assumed based on the trailer that this was going to be like a battle. Damon was going to
Yes,
have to fight off like 30 dudes. Like the
yes.
dragon was going to have to burn some people. But
This was actually
homeboy,
comedy. This was the only like stitch of comedy in the whole episode. Like this was so ironic and it
dude,
was fun. It was
the
hilarious. Like,
drums, the fucking,
yeah,
and I don't know
the way
how,
he's
dude,
just
and
like,
right,
with the sword.
and I don't know how you watched it, but this week I had my my AirPods in, my studio headphones, and just hearing the music and the rain. And when he arrived, fam, like put headphones on and just watch him when he arrives on the dragon. The clicking and the background, just picking up on all the details of sound in this show.
Yeah.
That in itself is just it's just such a masterpiece. Like TV speakers or laptop just doesn't give it justice. If you can listen to that with headphones and just watch and hear the rain and his movement, it is so well done. Like
Okay.
and that is why I think this is probably one of the I thought during this episode this is one of the best television shows, franchises that I think we'll have in our history because of the
Yes.
fact that like even with recent history and just out to everything else, when has a prequel show to a successful show ever been that good? Some may argue Better Call Saul to
I'm about
Breaking
to say,
Bad,
don't hate on Better Call Saul.
but
Like,
I would say that Breaking Bad kind of takes that over tenfold, to whereas Game of Thrones and House of Dragon are equal, maybe just a little bit separated.
no, I
So
agree. I agree. I think Breaking Bad has more
yeah,
action, but I think Better Call Saul is a better story though.
Psychological, right? The story, right?
I think it's a better, way better character development and story. But you're right though. That's
probably the one only valid argument. Like, there's not another franchise. Like, they're trying to do it with like Lord of the Rings on Amazon. It's failing. All of the prequels.
Oh, is it?
All of the prequel Star Wars shows are failing. Like this new.
Oh yeah, because I'm not even into those like, kind of franchises.
All of the Marvel recent TV shows are tanked. Like it just the prequel.
I see somebody say that like, oh my God, the COVID did the MCU so bad that y'all really try to convince us that WandaVision was good. Like,
yeah, bro, it's like the newest show of Star Wars on Disney Plus right now.
The Acolyte.
It's a cult of lesbian witches using the Force and their lesbian abilities to impregnate themselves and have children. That was episode 2. They're using the Force and their lesbian powers to have children and give birth on the latest episode of Star Wars. This is what's happening. This is why I'm telling you that House of the Dragon.
It's just another level, man.
There's nothing else that anyone can come to justify. So just that scene alone. And like you said, just getting back to the comedic aspect, he's got one dude to just beat in the head. And then he bust open the doors to the most fragile old man of a king and his 3 interns for the summer who just got done coding the first version of Facebook. Like, that's how useless they are.
It's crazy because once he's in there, I'm like, this is a dummy mission because, all right, if you gotta fight everybody, bro, you could fight Damon. Damon could fight. Like, that's when I'm not gonna shortchange him there, but like, bro. And your dragon better be close by because like how you about to fight maybe 5,000 people? You know what I'm saying? 1,000 people, 100 people. How you gonna fight 100 people? You know what I'm saying?
I'm assuming in that instance, their telepathic connection, the language, he would just say Dracarys and boom, the dragon would like, heat seek missile to him. But it just like not knowing what to expect. Everyone's gone. It's a fire sale. Like everything must go.
So he breaks in and he's like, I'm taking Harrenhal, and Bo was like,
say less. Let me hold on. What's the script?
So.
Let me get down right now.
It appears so.
You got Venmo. Like, what are we doing?
Deal.
Like, where are we at? Sure.
Ooh,
hey,
you're taking this old ass castle. Ooh, like that's
go for it. Hey, why don't I just give you some dinner too I'll give you a room. I'll set you up nice.
Yeah, I was with Damon though. I was like, I ain't eating that food. Dude, I ain't eating that food,
but hey, I wrote it down though. Sounded delish.
A
little aged
black
venison,
cabbage,
some cabbage,
black cabbage,
potato.
some peas.
Oh yeah.
I would killed that.
But as soon as he said, I'm not getting poisoned, like smart on another level of thinking. Sounded delicious, and just denouncing Lars Clubfoot as any,
So we meet. Yeah, let's announce who. Yeah, so we meet for the first time, Sir Simon Strong, who is the uncle of Lionel Strong, who is the father of Harwin Strong, and automatically he pledges his fealty to Team Black, and he's like, well, and he's like, are you sure? Because you got your lord over here in the high court with Team Green, and he's like, we don't Laura's Clubfoot?
Yeah.
You mean my crippled ass little great nephew?
We found that boy with the feet pictures in the castle. We kicked that motherfucker out 10 years ago.
We don't fuck with boy. And he killed his father. I know he killed his father. You mean to tell me in this old ass castle where I barely can keep a fire going, we got a fire in this motherfucker? I ain't stupid. I've been around a long time, and I ain't stupid. I was born in the day, but I wasn't born yesterday. That's what he told me. And I was like, I loved it. I was like, yes, Sir Simon.
Second line, a comedy in the show, and dude, just loving the digs on Lars. And
Loris Clubfoot is no lord of mine.
And so, dude, and this is how gangster Damon is in this moment too, right? The whole instant shift of power versus the confusion where he calls him a prince,
lord or something like that.
He calls him prince.
He's about to call him prince.
He says Prince Damon, and he gives him what? Call me Prince one more time.
What the fuck you said?
Call me Prince one more time.
It's your grace.
Call me Prince.
You agree? There was another line of comedy because he was like, "Well, when if you take it over, when? Because I'm certainly you're gonna take it over. Like, what's the plan?"
Yeah, right.
Yo, this dude Simon Shaw was
Dude,
that funny, dog.
and
He
I
was
mean,
hilarious.
and the punchline, the closing bit of the Chappelle show to bring it full circle. This man, Damon's laying out his plan. He's like, I got a dragon. Bada bing, bada boom. I'm going to go here. I'm going to burn him here. I'm going to burn him here. I'm going to burn him here. I've got a dragon. Burn him bing, burn him boom. And we're going to take the throne. And Simon's like, what? 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 What do you mean? And he's like,
you know, the thing with all the swords, like
the chair with all the swords on it. The king sits up. Oh my God.
Yeah, that was
like,
good.
Would you expect, like, is that the best execution of comedy that we could have probably from the game? I mean,
there's been a couple instances, but that was made for that. It was made for that.
The delivery, the lines, the writing, it just adds on to the fact that it is a fantastic, if not one of the best shows on the damn planet. It's so good. And so now does that mean that he's what? Daemon is now the king of Harrenhal? Like it's his castle, he sits on the throne, it's his joint now. He's ready to go.
Yeah, like that's his place, whatever. Okay. And he has to get troops now and basically fortify the walls and make sure everybody's good. But yeah, that's where we're at.
He's gotta get his army there. I mean, it wouldn't be difficult. What I would do is if in that main room where the throne of Harrenhal is, it just looks like a big hole. He could just have his dragon lay on top of it and all the holes would probably be covered and the dragon wings could just fill in the holes. Well, maybe no. Does his dragon have holes in its wing? I guess that wouldn't work. It probably.
I don't know if he does, but I know Vhagar is a little damaged.
The other one. So back to go ahead.
No, yeah. So just to finish up this scene, though, like you know, he does lay out the plan. His next move is to talk to Lord Tully, and he's just making mention that this guy is an old ass guy that can't even piss straight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he can't even talk. They said he can't talk or hold his
balance.
He
can't even talk. He's an invalid. Yeah. But you know, this is personal to Daemon because he said, you know, you should always respect your liege lord. Yeah. And really, he was saying about his brother. He was like, you know what I mean? He's thinking about his brother. He's thinking like, nah, even when you
up until
down
the
and
last
out,
day. Yep.
Up until the last day, you still gotta respect that man, and you gotta respect what he wanted. You know what I mean? And because that's what all this is about. This is like y'all went against what.
Yep.
Y'all don't know why y'all went against it, but y'all went against everything that he wanted. Yep. He wanted my wife.
Yep.
You know what I mean? To be the queen.
Yep.
And y'all went against that. So he's like, no, we gotta set these little motherfuckers straight. And they're not about to just do anything because if anybody's gonna take charge, it's gonna be me. Like the president, he said, the presence of, you know, a dragon and, you know, a ruler, like he's like, I'm sure we can do some convincing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's just it seems like the Tully is the last kind of key to the war here. So we'll see. And am I correct? Is Green trying to get him on their side too? Is that
yes,
also?
They are.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because they like I said, everybody, even when they were in that war room scene, like everybody's playing fucking Battleship, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, they say River Run is the key.
That's
the key to the war because it gets to so many. It's as a good passage point, but also there's so many like houses within that area. That's like, you know what I'm saying?
All right, guys, listen, you know, we couldn't do season 2 of this podcast without bringing some extra friends along. So we have incredible news. We have partnered with Central PA's newest business opening here in the Camp Hill area. It's called Fantasy Axe Throwing, okay? These guys are a perfect match for what we are doing right now because they're not just your typical axe throwing place with the modern lanes with chains and everything. It's just every room is a different theme. They've got their enchanted forest, they've got their Vikings room, they've got their warlock's lair, and they've got their king's castle. You can sit in the Iron Throne itself in the king's castle. So, you know what I mean? Whether you're the king or whether you think it's Rhaenyra, like whoever wants to sit in the throne has to do so at Fantasy Axe Throwing. So what we have done is we've partnered with them, Los, and we've got a promo code, okay?
Okay.
So if you go to their website to book any hour of throwing on Sundays. That House of the Dragon is on. So if you book your Sunday appointment at Fantasy Axe Throwing, get it done in the evening, then head home for the 9:00 premiere of each week's episode. If you use promo code Westeros, you're going to get $5 off your ticket from the Recap and Record podcast. Savings on to you. So you can check out our friends at Fantasy Axe Throwing at their website and on Facebook and Instagram, fantasyaxethrowing.com. We'll have links on the screen and everything down below in the description for you to check out there. And of course, maybe if you're lucky, you'll catch Los and I there throwing axes. We've got our passes set up and reserved, so we're ready to go. You excited, man? I'm
excited. That's dope, man. I was like, dude, dang, they got all the theme rooms. I'm like, yeah, that definitely takes it to a different experience. And then, so you can have your own little team black, team green party. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Go there and then, see who's really who's really on top.
Yep. And it's a BYOB establishment. They do sell light refreshments there and some snacks as well. Is family friendly. They like it to be 12 plus. So if you've got some younger ones, maybe in the teens there to start, but adults, families, parties, couples, date nights, make it happen.
Oh, we about to turn up.
Dude, Fantasy Axe Throwing. I mean, yeah, it's great. So head to their website. You can see, click on the Book Now button. You can see all the available times, the rooms, and everything you need to get yourself booked and start throwing with our friends at Fantasy Axe Throwing.
Dope, real dope, man. So moving on. We meet Gwen Hightower, and I'm like, wow, I didn't even know she had brothers. Like, I don't know her. We don't know anything about her family.
And right off the gate, I mean, this is clearly just another man who wants to fuck his sister situation. The vibes are there.
That's what you got?
Oh, yeah. Oh, the jealousy of Cole. Oh, he knew as soon as he walked up to Christian Cole and he introduced him that he was fucking his sister, and he was 100% jealous. And I think,
I didn't
really?
see it that way.
Really? Okay, maybe
you don't. No, I just no. I think
not that they are, but I think he might want to. I
didn't see. I just saw. No, you see a son who's been traveling for months to get here to realize that his father. His job was given to this man, and yes, he does have a clue because again, remember I said, once people that ain't supposed to be having sex, everybody can tell,
right? Well,
so it's after the fact that he's sensing like, oh no, that's how you got this position, motherfucker. You was fucking my sister.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you took my dad's job.
Okay.
I didn't take it as, but that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's an interesting take. I didn't look at the incest part of that because remember the Targaryens and then later the Lannisters are the only ones that kind of play with that.
Yeah, you know well, and that's right. And I mean, we've seen instances of like one brother and sister not reciprocating to the other. So I just assumed it might have been. Maybe you're right. I'm probably wrong. I want to say I'm wrong just for the hopes of the family. We want to keep them together for as long as possible, but hopefully their deaths come quick and swiftly. It was at this point in the episode, and I'm going to continue watching the rest of the season. I don't know if you do this or not. I turn the captions on because just I always take it. Okay.
Anything HBO, I watch.
Okay, yeah. So I turn the captions on just
because HBO volume is mad low for whatever reason. Like they make it like you gotta your shit would be on like 45. Like really? Yeah, I mean, like but it helps me zero in. But
so Alicent wishes Cole farewell and says, "May the seven guide you and not to death." And then he obviously says thank you for the prayers, but homie wants the L-bomb. Homie wants the blessing. Homie wants the guarantee. Homie wants to lock this shit down before he goes out and dies to a dragon. And what I don't understand in this instance from Alicent is like, she like looks around to see if anyone's watching, but like she looks this way when her brother is giving her the third eye from the opposite direction, seeing everything unfold, now giving him the ammunition he needs to hate Mr. Cole. And like like obviously that's a big deal. Women just carry around handkerchiefs in their titties to give out to their soldier boyfriends. Is that
Yes,
what
the
that's
blessing.
the
Yeah,
blessing?
yeah.
Okay.
The favor. Yeah.
Yes, a knight's favor. That's okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
because
So
well, and that's the thing. I think just in the history of this world,
uh-huh.
like there's probably not too much face-to-face talking between a queen and the Lord Commander, I mean, of the Kingsguard. Like these guys are
There
not
shouldn't
talk
be.
like
There
they might
shouldn't
have a
be. Right.
word
Right.
and like these like he's giving her too much eye contact.
Right.
Like everything,
Right. It's
he's just
obvious. Yeah.
he's like,
Yeah.
like googly eyed at
Right.
her. It's like, no,
Right.
motherfucker, like, yeah, you doing something you ain't supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And now we on to your ass.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, it's not gonna bode well. And that's funny because the whole chastity thing, and like you said earlier, the people, other guys of the guard, like they don't trust, they don't fuck with him, and they're like chastity.
No, well, and yeah, we'll get to it, but they're basically now just all of Aegon's drinking buddies that are
they are his
the Knights
little
Guard.
homeboys. Yes.
So yeah,
Oh,
it's just
God.
it's gonna be an interesting ride. I have written down here, is Christian Cole the start and reason? I mean, obviously not the reason, but the start of the war. Does Christian Cole start this fucking war? Like, come on, god damn it. Like I'm just, it's so irritating. It's
kind of, well, again, he definitely, he can't keep a secret, he can't hold water. So like if he would have never told Alicent that he was giving Rhaenyra that D, then it's a totally different ballgame. But then he killed. I mean, remember he killed Laenor's lover.
Oh, that's
in the party.
Yes. Yeah, man.
He has a very pivotal role, but his character is so complex because it's like you got this knight that has all these ushy, mushy, gushy feelings. Yeah. I mean, like, and that's the thing, like. We didn't see that with Sandor Clegane, you know what I'm saying? The Hound. Like we didn't, like we saw he had some feelings just on some like fatherly type stuff to Arya, but like the Mountain wasn't like gushy. I mean, so, even Jaime Lannister wasn't really like gushy, you know what I mean? Only after he faced some problems, you know what I'm saying?
And this boy's emotional as shit. Yeah.
Yeah, but like this man hasn't really faced adversity and he's so emotional. Like it makes sense that Jaime Lannister was emotional because this man, I mean, he got his hand, he's the fiercest fighter in all of Westeros and got his hand chopped off. You know what I'm saying? Damn. So and then was a prisoner for years. You know what I'm saying? The Hound, Hound,
and not even physically, but to his sister and other love interests, and just this pawn in the Game of Thrones. Like,
that's what I'm saying. I mean, you got the Hound. The Hound was burned as a child. You know what I'm saying, and like doesn't know how to love anybody. It makes sense that he has to go through this. Whatever. Right. The Mountain, they turned this nigga into a monster. Right. You know what I'm saying? They brought him back to life.
Right.
So even if these guys have emotions.
It's
it don't make no, like, what have you gone through, bro?
No, and their emotions are only for each other, and they have one mission in life, and that's to inevitably battle and kill each other. And so until that time comes, everything else, aka the first 7 seasons of the show, originally, they're strong, they're focused, they're committed, they're men, they're loveless, they're emotionless because they know it's a Game of Thrones.
Yes.
And like there's no room for love and care and compassion when it comes to the game, and of course, inevitably war. And Rhaenyra finds that out here very quickly. So we cut back to her, and this is the second time now that this council thinks that
they did not fuck with her.
That they're trying to be slick, and they're showing their true colors, bro, and they're gonna get popped, each one of them. We get it, they're scared. Because they're like, hey, bro, dragons, let's burn them, let's use them, let's take them out now, and let's just get it done and get it done
hit the
quick.
red button,
like,
hit the red button.
Nuke, bro. Like, it's time. We killed the baby's dead. Like, everyone's dying. They're coming for us next. We're scared. Hello, use the dragon bit. And it's like they thought they were slick, bro. They thought they were slick. And like
Yep,
this,
yep.
y'all just, you hit the threshold. And if we don't tread lightly from here on out, the whole council's getting replaced. And we've
Yep.
got Mother T on one side and White Worm on the other. And beyond that, it's bitch ass Damien. So you might as well count him as another female on the panel. And like, you know what I mean? Like at this point, Damon now has 3 women ruling over him. He has White Worm because she's beside Rhaenyra, and Mother T doesn't give a shit. So at this point, Damon's rankings, even though he's Lord of Harrenhal, it's like, hey, bro, you're dwindling and slowly losing your mind. We'll get back to it. You know, so it's that scene was like such a, I love that show of power that like she didn't even assert, but she let them know as a reminder that it's there.
Oh, y'all want to send me away so y'all could run this? That's treason.
That's treason, bitch.
That's
and guess
treason.
what? That's death by dragonfire. Like, you know,
we'll stop play in somebody else's face. I'm here. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna figure this out. We're gonna be a little bit patient. And then I love how Rhaenys was like, don't y'all forget, she's wearing the crown that my grandsire.
Oh,
who is the greatest king ever. King Jaehaerys was the greatest, wisest,
the longest
running, the greatest king ever, the most peaceful time ever. Y'all better watch your fucking mouth. That's what she said. That's what she basically said.
Like stand down.
Keep your stand down. Watch your mouth. Yeah. Y'all don't know what y'all doing. Y'all all scary. Y'all probably don't even got enough soldiers to help us out anyway.
Doing nothing, right? To not.
What are y'all doing? Y'all just want me to use nuclear weapons out here? Like, no.
Yeah. That was. I loved it. I loved every second of it.
Yeah, I did.
And so, and just Mother T coming in with that, and so then we obviously cut to her with Corlys, and so. We're on the brink of war, and so I kind of got lost in the beginning of this conversation, but they brought it back for me at least. And so they're coming up with a plan, right? Mother T is just a little concerned, like what happens when they don't pull you out of the ocean when you're bleeding, Corlys? Who's gonna rule the art? Like who's taking over? Who's your successor? Because it's not gonna be the kid. He's dragon meat now. It's not gonna be the other dude. So listen. We got Joffrey and we've got Rhaenyra. And so it's like, take your pick, bud. And like, Corlys isn't really like, man, those fucking kids, they don't know shit about boats. They don't know shit about ruling. They don't know shit about shit. Like, what am I supposed to do here? And so maybe this is where my kind of new thought kicked in. Maybe this is where the Allen boy might kind of fill his role of a successor to Corlys if it is some form of mystery family tree situation, Valyrian blood, they might make an exception. Maybe depending on the outcome of potentially next week's episode, we might not have any direct children, aka Joffrey, or maybe even Rhaenyra might not even want it because she's going to be busy doing things where she's going. And so it might fall then into the lap of him.
Yeah. And it's funny. Well, you just said that. And it's like, Corlys was like lost at sea when this happened. But like, we don't never get him a reaction or see how he felt about his brother getting his head chopped off.
Right.
Like we never, like he wasn't there for that, whatever. Right. So like, like his little, his kingdom, his castle, Driftmark, it's like who takes over that, you know what I'm saying? And like, so it's a lot of moving pieces.
That theory then of giving it to him would then maybe back the conversation that he had with his brother last week, like, yo, Corlys owes you a favor, like get that win for our that W for our family, like let's use this promise or this favor that he technically owes you now, and let's see if we can. So maybe that all with that conversation with Rhaenys, because it doesn't end well, right? She's she's got this bold stance and she's got these muscles to flex when it comes to war and her dragons and her family and her heritage and her history. But when it comes to the rankings of her family and her marriage, unfortunately, it's, at the end of the day, if Corlys wants to walk away, that's where we're at in time when it comes to the husband-wife relationship, you know what I mean?
Big facts, yep.
So it's not sure where that will go. And I don't know, have we seen Joffrey recently or where he's?
No, yeah, we haven't seen that little boy in a while.
Okay.
And then so that's just one. That's like the last strong boy.
Yeah.
But then then she got all them other kids to Damon. You know what I'm saying that
Right.
need to. So that's who she's taking care of those kids too.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah, interesting, man. Interesting to see where that goes. I think then moving next, because that was Rhaenyra's big yeah, it's her send-offs essentially.
Yeah.
And Bela, she, saying her goodbyes to her.
Yeah. So Rhaenyra's, she's leaving.
And it's just trying to instill in her that like, yo, you are important. And I think Rhaenyra sees the importance when she sees those eggs.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like once they show like these are fragile.
Yep.
Like yo, like I'm telling you,
if
you do what you gotta do, there's something at the end for you.
Well, and even not potentially, but at least it's the protection of their family's legacy and just securing their continued rule. So first fact of
why can't she take Sea Smoke? Why can't she take Laenor's dragon? Because that's the one that's the restless one. Like Sea Smoke don't know what the fuck to do.
Yeah. I don't know. It might be a pairing issue because he's restless. It's probably dangerous for her to attempt to ride it. I'm not sure.
I mean, Vhagar. I mean, you gotta.
I'm not sure.
You gotta be about
I'm not sure. Yeah. So first fun fact about that: those eggs end up being Dany's dragons from the original series. Those are Dany's dragons' eggs. Those eggs become the name.
What?
Those eggs.
Because they I feel like they got fossilized, whatever. You know what I mean? And they kind of were like a gift, but so and nobody thought nothing would happen until obviously she got that witch power and all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So the director of the episode confirmed the eggs that are there are Drogon, Rhaegal, I'm probably saying that wrong, and Viserion, her three dragons.
Wow. So that's crazy that them eggs lasted for 200 years.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So and
dang,
so,
who had possession? Like that's the chain of custody of those eggs is interesting. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
Wow.
And so then the last kind of scene that we get here is just Rhaenyra shipping the rest of the kids out with her. Like, you're going to the safe land. I don't want any more of my babies dying. She kissed the strong boys. She kissed the two blonde boys. And I just thought of a third fact for this section that I'll hit you with right now. Rhaenyra has lost the same and had the same amount and type of children that her mother did. I think she gave birth to 2 girls and lost 2 girls and has 4 or 5 boys, much like her own mother. And so the last kind of sad fact of the scene is this, unfortunately, small spoiler alert, this is the last time she'll see those children. Or the last time those children will see her, I should say.
Oh, damn. That's sad.
So, but history prevails. Move along. So she ships off the kids, man. So yeah, they're safe. And so because Rhaenyra just, whatever the outcome of her next point of action is, she knows she just wants them out of here. She doesn't want anyone to know where they are. And she just wants to kind of get them away from any type of inevitable war.
Yeah.
We get some. Go ahead.
No, I was just. Oh, where were we going to go with?
I was just going to move on to the next scene.
Okay. Was that Alicent and Helena?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, that was good. That was good.
So I don't know. Again, I don't know if anything she said here made too much of sense as far as dreams. I don't know.
Yeah, it was concrete. Everything she said was pretty concrete.
Yeah, but we kind of get a closure here, kind of a mother-daughter moment. She said, Alicent said, sadness is a condition of motherhood. And Helena forgave her for fucking Christian Cole. Is that?
Yes, that of course. That's what that was.
Yeah.
I read that. I read that into that. I said, oh, and Alicent though, her face, she's a good face actor because her
serving face all episode. Yeah.
She's nice to look at though. I ain't gonna hold you.
You see the picture. You see the pictures they put of her on Twitter. Some of those photo shoots she's done.
She's nice. Yeah. Alicent is fine. But yeah, it was just the Yep, and like it's like I ain't gonna say nothing else. I ain't
Nope,
gonna say
that's
nothing
it.
else. Good.
Just take the
Like,
deep
yeah.
breath, the sigh of relief. That's it. Your secret's safe with your daughter. You can assume for now that literally no one knows what's going
Mm-hmm.
on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So small, but a little bit of a powerful scene there.
Yep.
Talking about the small folk, just bringing them up again. I'm so glad you kind of instilled in me last week when we talked about, the how Aegon the king is at his heart, one of the folks, like one of the common folks that, that's where he grew up. That's he's in the
Mm-hmm.
streets and the brothels, like he's partying with the boys. And so that really kind of came into play here, I think, in this kind of last scene with them in this episode. And it's not the last time it's mentioned in this episode, but we get our first glimpse at Aegon the Conqueror 2.0.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
this is where we find out that, like, wait a minute, what you're doing? What, you're riding out? Where you going?
Whoa, no, wait, time out. Where are you at with it? Are you we just skipping all of that Aegon stuff with him going through with his boys?
That's after.
Okay, all
Yeah,
right.
sorry, that comes after.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
sorry.
yeah, because now Aegon was, I just feel like he's really trying to find his identity.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
And to see
well,
wearing the armor,
Yeah.
talking to Larry Strong, saying like,
right, hiring. So official, boom, bam, our second hiring of the season. We're filling the roster. We now have a
the
master.
cabinet, yep.
We now have a cabinet, the master of whispers, Lars Strong. And I mean, so, and this was kind of just like, could have been, do you think Lars just made this whole thing up just to see what would happen, to try to convince him not to go? Like, were there actual rumors that the king was leaving and he's opposed? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how much of Lars is Lars and how much is the truth? And I mean, I guess obviously we'll probably never know, and we can assume to take everything with a grain of salt, and it's most likely a lie for his bigger game, which clearly has worked. And so what does that then, do you understand the meaning to, like, he says his father never really wanted a master of whispers because he didn't really vibe with that. Like, does that then show that the king might not trust the people as much, or the people around him? Like, what does having a master of whispers do to your status as a king, to the point where...
I wonder. So I that's a good question, because I wonder if King Jaehaerys had a master of whispers, because I think what that says, when you have to have a master of whispers, it means that, like, you are at a time of war,
right?
Like, you are at a time when you have that when you can't trust the people around you. Like, when you can trust the people around you, I don't think you need that. Like, I think, and when it's a peacetime, which most of Viserys' reign was peacetime.
Right.
All of Jaehaerys' time was peacetime. So it's like, you don't need that. We don't need CIA spies right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, we good. Like, we don't need that. And I think that's what it was. I think Viserys was like, was probably cautious because of, he was making such a big change in the kingdom by naming Rhaenyra as his heir.
Right.
He didn't want to hear nothing come back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I also, too, Viserys is very insecure.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. He said it all last season. Yeah.
Insecure with his relationship with his brother. And so I think he just did not want to. He didn't want to know. He is more like, just, I'd rather not know. Like, I don't want to know if you
because they were
playing me.
They were even they were just bringing it straight to his face. Like, they weren't even whispering. They were just, like, going to his council and being like, "She's a whore," and then whatever. And so he's right. So why double down with a master of whispers just to make things worse? I get it. That makes so much sense. But of course, Aegon, this is his new, like, he just got a pro subscription to TMZ and he's ready to go because he needs to know what's happening. Yeah. And so instead of going to war, he takes the armor off and learns that it's one of his boys' birthdays, or it's a bachelor party.
The squire is about to become a knight. Yeah. I think. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, got it. So some form of celebration. And so he gets this idea in his head. And so we kick off this scene. And I wrote it down with Rhaenyra's drunk uncle showing up. But since watching,
Target. Is he a
So
Targaryen?
since watching the episode, I did a little bit of research and I learned some few things about our man Off White. Is his name? His name is Off White, the son of
It's crazy.
Off White, the son of Balon the Brave.
Yes.
So he is
bastard son of.
He is.
Balon.
I think he does have a little bit of Targaryen blood.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
He's popular as hell though. Everybody knew him. Like,
right. Yeah.
Oh, hey yo.
He was dapping. I thought he was following somebody in. I thought that was gonna go somewhere.
Yeah.
But nah, he was just dapping everybody up. He knew everyone in the kingdom. He make a great king. And so, but no, so spoiler alert, he does inevitably end up joining Team Black and claiming a dragon. And
Sea Smoke?
Silverwing, I believe, is the name
I don't even know who that
dragon.
is.
And then according to some rumors in the Twitter sphere, he may or may not betray them and join Team Green. We'll see where that goes. We'll see where it goes.
Okay, we'll see
where it goes. So I thought like when people were telling him to be quiet and said his name, and then it got quiet, I thought like he was done for, and like any rumors or bad speak, like Lars was gonna come in and like drag you away. Like if you start
something like that,
And so, but then the king walks in and is just kicking off his celebrations, drinks on the crown for everybody. And so, how did you like the bachelor party?
It was all right. So here's the thing, bro. Like, imagine if you were like, all right, just imagine you decided to go to Vegas, right? And you know, you went to the cat house.
Let's
you know what I'm
roll
saying?
it out. Is that where we go? I've never been. You've been apparently, so that's what it's called.
I've never been. I watch HBO though. I watch HBO.
Okay, yeah.
And imagine like, all right, who's powerful? Who's like somebody in America that's powerful, rich, you know what I mean, whatever, that thinks they're the shit, right?
Donald
Trump. So
Trump.
just imagine that person. Maybe it's
Donald Trump.
Elon Musk. Maybe it's Jeff Bezos. Maybe it's the president. Maybe it's Donald Trump, right? Or somebody like, or you know, former president.
Yeah.
And a motherfucker is just like opening your room, like you getting busy, and then so this motherfucker, like, cause he got so much power. He just like, oh, what you doing in here?
He's looking, and so, but no, yeah, it's like, so Donald Trump, bro, I mean, it's just like, he's just opening curtains, right? And he's just
bro, I'll be so pissed off.
He's looking for Sylvia. He's got this one bitch named Sylvia. She's got the best picante in town, and he needs his boys to just really experience Sylvia.
Yeah, she's a throat goat. She's a throat goat.
And it's just like the close up of the head game. I mean, hey, I get it. It's Game of Thrones. We need that sexuality. We got to fill the quota, but damn, just a surprise for us as the audience, isn't it?
Well, you know what? I didn't like. The only time I seen nudity was when they had the boys standing up, and I was like, but I didn't notice they had.
The first curtain he opens was a close up of some chick just going straight full throat in. Oh yeah. And I mean, homeboy was stacked too. I mean, I'm not afraid to admit it. So it's like, so Aemon's he's trying to get the best. He's trying to get the best pussy for his boy, and he opens up the curtain to his fragile, just kind of leanish, fragile. Yo, was homeboy sucking on the titty? No,
I think he was just doing his thing that he was doing last episode, where he was just in the fetal position, just like cuddling with her.
Okay.
Oh my God!
And so
and what an asshole though.
Degrading.
Yeah, it is weird. Like Aemon's his fetish and stuff, that's weird, but that's also his private business.
Yeah.
There's a curtain for a reason.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then for your brother to bust in on you, and then not to like bust in like, oh, but like to bust in and stay there and laugh at you, and then all these nights are uncomfortable as hell.
And
that was I guess that was more comedy, but like that was disturbing.
It was like, bro, it's the most embarrassing. Like this man, I get it. Like to be the toughest man, the baddest boy in the kingdom, to be the Daemon of Team Green. Yeah, there has to be some weaknesses, and unfortunately, it's the most embarrassing situation. But at the end of the day, the fact that this happened now to gain back, now we'll see how much his brother remembers. They were all drunk. Who knows how drunk, you know what I mean? So, but like to be the biggest, baddest man, to have the biggest fucking dragon, to have the biggest nuke, to be this guy. And I mean, you know what I mean? He's fine. He's a little skinny, but like he looks like he could lay it down if he needed to. Obviously, he doesn't have the mental power, but like it's like to have this now, like the squire, every time the king's in the room, they're going to be snickering in the corner, laughing at him. Like it's kind of now this situation where he kind of canceled his brother. Like Crystal Eye aside, Big Bad Dragon aside, the only thing that Aemon has to do now is get his revenge on Daemon, and that's it. Because like what else? He has no respect for his brother, his mother, his family, their strategies, the war plan. His high tower is now gone. Cole is gone. Aemon has no one but what was essentially his whore left, and now she even is seemingly gone because he
because I can't come back here because like now my brother is such an asshole. He's gonna come here every week
just
to see if I'm here.
Yeah.
Just to see if I'm here, or if she's unavailable, he's gonna assume that she's with me, and so that was it was very degrading and very low, and like I said, that's not how you treat your brother. Like that's not how you treat your brother. And then bringing up really the past, he's like, haha. He was like, yeah, man, we put him onto her a long, like back when we were
13, bro. Like, yeah.
And then I was like, obviously he ain't find nobody else, whatever. So like. Yeah, and then you know what too? That's one thing we haven't seen either. Like nobody has tried to court Aemon I guess we're in wartime, so
it's
maybe we don't got time. It's not necessary.
Right. It's not
but a lot of times that's what helps strengthen armies though. Like you know what I'm saying? Yes. Oh, matter of fact, no, they were. Remember Baratheon was about to
then
have
the
him.
The Luke event happened, and we're gonna get to Aemon's love interest here in a minute. Okay. Yeah, man, just a degrading, just another scene for him that's really, I mean, they built this man up. We ended season 1 with him being a god. The fact that his dragon is so huge, it looked like a skyscraper swallowed your apartment. Like that's, it was the defining moment of his career. And in the matter of 20 minutes, 2 nights in a private setting, he is now being pegged down. And like same as Daemon, even continued to being pegged down on the scale of toughness and seniority through not the Game of Thrones, but the game of men, especially when the women are so powerful and outranking them.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah. What a character shift, a development, or whatever you want to call that. But that's interesting to see where we end up with him. Basically the next scene. Any other notes on the brothel? Or
no, that's it. And then that's pretty much it. It was just bad taste, man. But like I said, that it fits the mold of your boy Aegon, man. Like that's just who he is. Don't know he doesn't really know who he is. He's trying to always prove himself, but like, and I just think that's like the kings don't go to the brothel. Like that's what I'm saying. Like he's just such a commoner. Like you bring the bitches that they come to the castle.
Yes, you bring them to your room.
You get the escorts to come to the castle. You don't be out there. Like anything could happen to this man on the streets.
Yeah, poisoned. He's given a drink that doesn't have it. It's crazy. Like Daemon won't even take a bite of peas that the chef prepared. But like Aemon's getting drinks from the bartender who could easily be anyone disgruntled that maybe their child just died because they didn't get the funding that the king promised. Maybe, you know what I mean?
Big facts.
So then in walks one of becoming the baddest chicks of the land, Bela and her dragon Moon Dancer, just doing their job, scouting it out, and just seeing it from a mile away. I was trying to look. I saw the flash of his armor, so obviously that was kind of, I think, the tell for us at least. And so as soon as it started, I was like, oh, get him, bitch. Let's go. Race to the finish, like get in the trees. Where are we going? Like, and right even before that, we kind of see this first power struggle, which, comes from Wayne and Christian Cole of like, yo, I want my boys to rest. They got this banging ass pub. They got 2 for $6 tacos. We're going to get some beers. Like, we're going to hang out with the boys, and then we're going to press on. I think the king would be okay with it.
Especially knowing who the king is.
Right.
Like, come
he's
on,
like,
bro.
he's at the bar right now. He sent the Raven. He's like, I'm at the bar. You guys go to the bar. Like, we're chilling.
Yep.
It's a chill night, whatever. But you know what I mean? Christian Cole, he's back to business. He's got now 2 very important roles. He's now leading the army as a 3rd role in his resume. And it's like, no, we're like, what are we talking about? Which obviously led them to fearing for the lives, getting away this close. I wish she would have ate one. I wish she would have ate one of them.
Just burn them trees.
Right,
ain't no people.
Like,
ain't no
you
people
were
there.
this close. You should have like burned them and then continued to fucking just, I don't know.
Yep.
But she's also like stepdaughter of the queen. Like, that probably would have been an act of war, a liberty she shouldn't have taken. So just another testament to the girl power here. And so, we get Ray kind of being like, hey, like, guys, maybe this is it. Maybe we should go to war. But she's like, no, we're going to wait one more day. Listen, man, this is why she's smart. She's got a 24-hour policy. And this is like how I run my life. I tell Megs, whether it's money or a situation or whatever, I'm like, hey, give me 24 hours. I'll have it figured out. If I need more time, I need more time. But it's usually 24 hours.
Yeah, you need that good sleep.
And
you need that. Yep.
I need that sleep. I need to send the right email, the right invoice. I'll have the money right now, and I'll send it to you tomorrow. Like, that's how we remedy the situations. Rhaenyra says, give me 24 hours. And she's got one last kind of plan.
Yes.
But before we get to the execution, we get, I think, what most people are talking about, the scene of the episode here, when we cut back to Daemon kind of taking his first night in the castle.
Yeah.
And so, like, knock, knock. He's already got the swords in the door. Great security tactic. Again, his like second great thought this episode. And like, we get the shaking, and we're like, what the fuck? What's going on?
Yeah.
And then, what was your initial reaction to the just around the corner reveal? Like, were you?
Wow, that was crazy that it was but obviously, he's having these hallucinations. But again, that's just the supernatural nature of this Harrenhal place. It's haunted. It makes you
crazy,
maybe see things. And he's like thinking about all the bad things that he's done.
Yep.
And it's in his face.
This is truly what haunts him. And I have a quote here from the showrunner. Instead of warfare or dragons or images of horror, it was really more of Daemon being haunted by these people who had done wrong by his past, particularly young Rhaenyra. That's the girl who took his claim. It's the vision of Rhaenyra that removed him as the heir to the throne and was, named heir and took his claim. So as you'll see, his story at Harrenhal unfold, there's an element of Daemon having to reckon with his past and the choices that he's made up until this point and things that he's done. And so, we cut to young Rhaenyra. They told us that she was never coming back to the show and that she was done. Great cover up on their end, but just an amazing cameo from her.
Yes.
And just the gruesome scene of her sewing the head back on just to hit us again with that. That's just, every time I gut, it's nasty.
I ain't gonna lie. In episode 2, remember when the hearse got like stuck? I
thought the head was gonna come off. I thought it was gonna come off. I thought it was gonna roll in the street. I said, no.
I was like, no, stop
please,
messing with it.
please.
I really thought
and then
that's
they cut
what was
away,
gonna happen,
and
bro.
my heart. Okay.
Yeah, once it was still safe, I was like, oh my god,
dude. When they were pushing, and but they were cutting back to Helena's anxiety.
Yeah,
and I was like, the head's gonna roll on the ground. The head's gonna roll on the ground.
It's gonna hit, like his body's gonna either the head or his body's gonna fall off of the thing. Oh my god, I was like, I was so glad that they didn't take it there.
Nasty.
I was glad they didn't take it there.
Oh man, but so it shows really the demons that he's struggling with, and the fact that Daemon's okay with murdering regular people and war and dragons and everything else that he's done up until this point in time, but like really that jab at his claim to the throne and Rhaenyra as a teenager and just this baby now and everything that's been happening recently is really haunting him. And so then we kind of cut. So was he sleepwalking? I didn't understand the cut to the tree. It was just a cut in the scene. Did he woke up
and
there?
then that woman is like, you're gonna die here.
Yep.
Like,
so let's talk about her. Let's start with the tree. Allegedly, according to the lore, that tree is where all of the kings and lords of Harrenhal go just to kind of meditate. That's where they end up, especially when they come out of these hallucinations. And what I don't think we saw maybe in this episode, I don't know if they'll even touch on it, but there's 13 notches in the tree, and every time a different ruler of the castle dies or takes over, they put a new notch in the tree. And I think that was presumably what Daemon was doing there.
okay.
And then so that woman, her name is Alice Rivers. And so she's presumably...
Rivers is a name that they give you if you're a bastard, like in certain lands, because you know how like Snow. But yeah, Rivers is one of those last names.
Okay,
like it's
okay.
It's like, so she doesn't have any claim to nothing. Like
she's presumably a witch.
Okay.
I think some things I was reading said she was, but there wasn't any 100% claim. So maybe we can ask Chef about that one. But I think she might be. And I think also she does become One-Eyed Aemon's love interest. I think they meet at Harrenhal, and there is one crazy kind of spoiler. I mean, what she said, it's apparently now it's a foreshadowing. I think that's where we lose Big D. There's something called the battle at God's Eye that I think involves two dragons, and I think Daemon might be one of them, and we'll see how that turns out. But we'll see. Hopefully maybe next week. I don't know. Potentially, probably. I think people are saying it might be like the season finale. So we'll see where the show takes us.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and I think the last big scene is like you said, the 24-hour policy, Rhaenyra, she has like one last ditch effort because she's taking in the wisdom of Mother T, right? And so she's like, all right, maybe, just maybe I can talk to Alicent. So she meets with her master whisperers, basically, you know what I'm saying? Masaria. And she's like, yo, so can you get me in the room with her?
Right.
She like,
and she's going
we
through
better
all
off
the
killing
options.
her.
Right. She's going through all the options. You want to kill her? You want to kidnap her, torture, rape her? Like, take your pick. Here's the menu. She's like, I just want to talk to her a little bit. And she's like,
yeah,
we
sis,
can't. You can't do that.
I don't know about that. I can work some magic, but I don't know about that.
You want?
So she's like, yeah, but where's she at? Where's she at? And she's like, matter of fact, I know one place where she is not really watched, right?
Yes.
So then Rhaenyra turns into the stealthy scepter,
dude.
The stealthy scepter.
Woo! Serving face through Westeros. She rolls right into the kingdom with that freaking sexy little face she has, just looking.
She's pretty too.
She's something. Just, I mean, and the fact that, come on, she didn't get recognized by one person that should have been like, Queen Rhaenyra? Out loud, like, come on, fam.
Yeah, somebody, or at least some whispers, like some people
like Rhaenyra, but no, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. She did good. She got in, and look, this is her last.
But I'm like, how is she gonna get out? But like, I don't think we need to see that. But like, I was worried. I'm just like, oh my god, how you get in? How you get out? But
she said it. She said it. No one pays attention to a woman not dressed like a queen. Right. So like just looking like you have no respect. You're looking like you're probably just praying, heading to the church, keep your head down, walk through the city. No one's going to stop you.
Yep. Just look like the nuns, the other septas, and then you'll be good.
Would you, this whole time leading up to this, because I knew like the sit down was going to happen, and this whole scene, right, leading up to a little suspenseful, but whatever. We knew she had a handler there. She had a little bit of protection. She would, whatever. The whole time leading up to her sitting down beside Alicent, I'm in my mind trying to figure out, okay, What's your opening line? How do you stop Alicent from freaking out? How do you stop Alicent from screaming? How do you approach this situation so everyone remains calm and no one knows what's going on?
And she's like, bitch, I'll kill you. I'll kill you, bitch.
In her infinite wisdom, Rhaenyra comes with a shank and is like, bitch, if you scream, they'll murder us both, but not before I slit your fucking neck. And I'm like, hey, sweetheart. It's simple. All you have to do is kneel down beside her and say, I just want to talk. I'm not going to hurt you. Like, you just say, I'm not going to hurt you. Just go up to her and say, I'm not going to hurt you. And when she realizes who you are, she's not going to scream. Just say, hey, I just want to talk. Like, just don't. But maybe,
or I got your letter. Like, I don't know,
or I forgive you, or like something like, something like, you know, I'm sorry to hear about your death. I'm like,
but
sorry.
Her opening line was basically like, bitch, I'll kill you.
Like not before I kill you, bitch. Like, come on, like, dude. But maybe was the knife necessary to keep her there for as long as she could? Like, if she didn't have a knife on her, she could have just gotten up and left whenever, or maybe could have yelled. I don't know, because. So this whole conversation was just basically what Rhaenyra needed to get. She wanted her closure. She wanted to stop the war. She wanted her best friend back, her semi-lesbian, maybe at one point in time, lover. I mean,
stepmom, everything.
Uncle. She might be her aunt, I think, at this point. I don't even know. But
I don't even know.
Right, like just this relationship that might be salvageable because Mother T is usually never wrong. And she said that you said that maybe we could figure it out. And like, you know, Alicent is just kind of sticking to her guns. She's like, listen, man, Jaehaerys changed his mind, fam. He changed. Viserys, sorry. Yeah. Viserys changed his mind. And it just, up until this point,
she's like, you lie, bitch, you lying.
Right.
You're lying.
Right.
You lying. She's like, no, I don't know what to tell you, but like, he did.
She knows she's lying. They're both sticking to their guns. But Rhaenyra is just trying to get her to stop the war.
Yes. And she's like, it's too late. Like, are you serious? You did this.
Homeboy is at the brothel putting his armor on. I got another dude with a dick problem and a big dragon. I've got Strong riding out. The war's already started.
And you know what Aemon is like, and so like that. I was like, and I think she was saying like
uncontrollable.
You know, uncontrollable. Like, and you know, Aemon is Daemon.
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
yeah, right.
Aemon,
and he's okay. And can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. And he's okay with being a monster. Like he knows that, like he's gearing up. He's like, hey, they gave me his crown. I'm the Conqueror 2.0. I'll burn it to the ground if I have to. And we've seen that attitude from him. And we've also seen the other side of him, you know, the soft kind of like, I'm just a regular person kind of. So we'll see where his inevitable demise comes from. But I think it's just so once up until this point, I don't know if you remembered or had forgotten, but Rhaenyra never knew what that final changing of mind conversation was like.
Yeah, she never. And I'm glad that she asked all the right questions.
Yes,
you know what I mean, I was proud of her because I was like, when we gonna know? When we gonna know? And then she's like, yeah. So your dad, you know,
he was like,
told me I could barely understand his dumb ass. You know what I'm saying? His nigga old whatever.
And she's
like,
about something.
Yeah. She said something about Princess Promise, and she was like, "Whoa, time out."
You're talking about my son, so like we made him king. You know what I mean?
Time out. He said what? What did he say?
Oh, the Song of Ice and Fire. He told that to you.
He told that to you, and
she's like,
what the fuck? What the fuck is a Song of Ice and Fire? I don't know what you're talking about. She's like, oh my god, it's a story that my father used to tell me, and he was talking about Aegon the Conqueror, and then Alicent was like.
Alicent gets the choked up Sydney Sweeney. I'll put the clip in, like the fact that her son,
the conqueror,
is not the king, and so now everybody now they both know what's to happen. And Rhaenyra took that as like, okay, that's it, slam dunk, case closed, Your Honor, mistrial. Yep. Like we're not gonna end this fucking Rico case like with fucking the little buddy who should have had 10 mistrials by now, with the goddamn judge having secret meetings with the other lawyer, the other lawyer wasn't invited to.
Right.
Shut it down. I don't know anything about it. but goddamn it, mistrial. Like,
Yep.
let's where
Yep.
like now everyone knows, and Alicent knows, and Rhaenyra knows, and in that same moment, I'll put this picture on the screen. Rhaenyra realizes that Alicent still isn't backing down, and that she's a dumbass bitch, and that she's not gonna. It's not gonna just end lightly, and now
Yep.
she has to go to war because now. Daddy's prophet is Rhaenyra is the queen that was promised to unite the
Yes.
realms in the Seven Kingdoms, and now that's her mission. And now
Yep.
that's her goal. And Alicent's mission is now to burn it all down before she has that realization, and everyone else does too. And
Yes.
so, I mean, it's too late.
It's too late. It's too late. And that's that was Allison's that was her argument.
That was her mantra,
and,
yeah.
And because again, from the very beginning, it's like because at the end of the day, we don't even know why we're fighting, but we finally get that
Yep.
that sliver of hope.
Yep.
And it's one of those things where it's like, well, yeah, Rhaenyra still has to protect that. You know what I mean? She's the only one that knows. Because Daemon don't even know the Song of Ice and Fire.
No.
Rhaenys don't know the Song of Ice. Like, you gotta think so many.
Wow,
it's literally
dude, are you serious? Right.
It's literally goes from like ruler to heir. And like so we can't have Aegon as the king because
he won't
he can't pass it down. Like it dies. So it has and that's what she realizes. She's like, oh well, I gotta get my shit back now. Like because y'all don't know it, and I can't tell you.
Right.
I can't tell you.
Right. Rhaenyra's already said too much because now Alicent knows Song of Ice and Fire. Let me start asking. Let me go to my boy Lars and be like, what do you know of this? And then come back, and now
he gonna make up some bullshit.
Well, maybe, or just tells her, and now we've got like some people in the circle that we can't trust, and they might manipulate it, or she might tell it to Aegon. What needs to happen? Rhaenyra needs to get back to Mother T and give her the download and figure out what the next moves are. Listen, man, everyone else on Twitter is the parallels to season 1, seeing young Rhaenyra and Alicent in the same spot and location with the candles. It just kind of shows where we've came from and where we're at, and now where we're headed. I mean, the episode 4, if you want to get into it now, it's called The Dance of Dragons, and this is the one they're talking about.
My God.
This is the one they're talking about. And I mean,
yeah, we see in the preview, we see Kristen chopping off somebody's head because they didn't want to get down or lay down.
Yep.
We see dragons fighting each other.
Yep.
Yeah, we about to get at least a battle. We're gonna get a battle.
We got a crown falling to the ground, so Aegon's involved somewhere. We've got troops on the tree line. We've got Gwen and Christian arguing. We've got Alicent in the war room, like the situation room with Donald Trump, ready to fucking push the button. Like, let's go.
Let's go.
I think this is gonna be, dude. The title of the episode is A Dance of Dragons, so I can't imagine anything less than like Battle of the Bastards level. I mean, it looks like it with the tree lines and fighting out of the trees and in the forest. It looks like Jon Snow's gearing up to take on a whole fucking army. So I can't wait.
I can't wait. I'm excited. I can't wait.
I think this episode did a perfect job of giving us more questions, but even more answers, bringing it all together, telling us just exactly whose side everyone's on, hopefully leading us forward in more stories and deaths to come, and everything that inevitably unfolds next week. And then after that, we've got like 4 more weeks. I think the schedule I saw takes us into, I think, the first Sunday in August. So
8 episodes?
Yeah, I'm pretty
it's
sure.
It's not 10?
Let me just double check that right here. I'm almost positive I saved it.
8, 8.
Yeah, sorry. Yep, there it is. 8. Yeah. So we're halfway through.
Oh, it says like season 1, season 2 will feature. I thought season 1 had 10, but okay.
We were quick with it. Yeah. So
wow.
There it is.
Okay, next week is halftime. So okay. Yeah, man, it's exciting, man. It's this is good, man. This show is doing what it's supposed to do.
Yeah,
I'm happy about it.
it's keeping us here. It's keeping us on the edge of our seats. It's doing the storytelling, the effects, the lines, the actors, the skill set, the editing, the everything. It's a complete package. What is your predictions? Do we think we lose? Who dies next week? We can't have a Dance of Dragons without a core character dying.
I think I think we might lose whew. Yeah, it's like who does Team Green have to lose?
Well, bro,
Like,
I saw a thing, and I don't know if I saved it, but it's basically like a breakdown. The only dragons that they have are Sundance, which is the king's dragon,
Sunfire,
sorry,
Sunfire,
and
Sunfire.
That's fucking it. And
Vhagar.
And then Darren has one. Wherever Darren's at.
Little man, yeah.
That's it. Now I think there's one or two more coming, but other than that, they only have two. And like Team Black has Rhaenyra's, Daemon's, Baela, Moon Dancer, Sea Smoke. Like we've got 5 or 6 with like I think even 2 or 3 more. Like I said,
Melis,
she's got
Rhaenys,
one. Yeah, so they've got like it's stacked on Team Black. So if I had to guess, we're probably gonna lose a member of the Black side.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They have too many. It's almost they have too many like they have too many dragon riders that's like that can be kind of collateral that can be used as damage. But so I think maybe unfortunately maybe like Baela, something might happen to Baela.
Another one of the kids, maybe not the kids, but obviously the ones who are still there, which I think we have. Well, we have Baela and Viserys, I think.
Yep.
The other son. Yeah. So they stay behind.
You talking about Jaceres?
Jaceres, yeah. The J's and V's, I get them.
I know, man, I know.
But so, because their dragons are of age, right? And the other dragons she's sending off because they're just little babies. They're going to grow up in the safe lands, and we'll use them at a future time. If we need them, we need them, but take them that way. So we're losing some on that side, but yeah, Team Black. Listen, I'm going to be pissed if and when Mother T goes. But with things maybe not seeing eye to eye with Corlys, maybe that's like they're out. Like maybe one of them has to kind of perish for that kind of predicament to settle. Maybe we'll see. That'd be just my prediction. It's going to be unfortunate, but we'll see. We'll see. Yep. I watched the trailer again. Their trailers, like the 50 seconds. I mean, smart, not giving us much.
Yes.
Just little drops here and there. And we don't really even know what they mean at all. So
I think this last one though was the most straightforward because I was like, okay, all right. But yeah, the one from because we didn't know who the fuck the Brackens and the Blackwoods were. So it was like because they were in the trailer. I'm like, who the hell?
Yes.
So yep. But yeah, I'm excited, man. Excited.
It's awesome. It's awesome, man. So any other notes? Any other thing you think we might have missed?
I think we covered it all this week. I think we got it all.
Yeah. So all right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll wrap it there. Check the socials, check the YouTubes, check the Spotifys. We drop our episodes every weekend. We're constantly reposting on our Twitter accounts, on Instagram. Look out for those clips on Recap and Record on all social medias. And of course, as I'm sure you've seen by now, inserted into the episode, don't forget, check out our friends, Fantasy Axe Throwing. We got that Westeros promo code, $5 off every Sunday.
There we go.
So plan your weekend ahead of time. Maybe get on the website, fantasyaxethrowing.com, and schedule your booking now for next week. Get some dinner, go axe throwing, go home, watch House of the Dragon because next week's going to be explosive. And so what better way to kind of make it a little mini event for yourselves this weekend. So check our friends out at fantasyaxethrowing.com. And Los, man, until next time, I can't wait, buddy. Next week, we'll bring it right back.
Yep. I see you, man.
I love it, man. Peace out.
Peace.